My teenage son tried to take his own life, now my husband wants to punish him. Only people with children know what it's like to have kids and feel like there's a part of your heart living outside of you, walking around vulnerable to all the dangers of the world. You can try and protect your children in every way you can think of, but I've learned there are some things a parent cannot protect their child from. I've been married to my husband for 22 years, and we have 2 teenage boys. I love my babies more than anything in this world. They're special, but they couldn't be more different when it comes to their personalities. My oldest, Zach, is a well-adjusted, positive, outgoing kid. He is captain of his school's baseball team, and he has a great group of friends that I love. He is also a terrific older brother to my youngest, Michael. Ever since Michael was little, I knew he was a unique, sensitive kid. Even when he was a toddler, he would get frustrated and cry easily, and he wet the bed until he was almost 13 years old. Now at 16, Michael suffers from a lot of anxiety and bouts of depression. He was always a mellow kid. When he was little, he never threw tantrums. He would just lie down wherever he was and stare off into space. Ever since he started going through puberty, Michael has had episodes where he is basically unable to get out of bed. It started when he was around 12. He wouldn't get out of bed in the morning, and when I would go up to check on him, I would find him wrapped in his blanket just staring at the wall. I would ask him what was wrong, how could I fix it, and all he could tell me was that he was sad and he didn't know why. I got him into therapy the same year these episodes started, and he's been in regular therapy with his same trusted therapist ever since. My husband has been basically absent from Michael's psychiatric care. He has said before that he doesn't believe in depression and thinks this is just a phase that Michael will grow out of. He doesn't know how to talk to Michael about it, and he just ignores Michael's issues, and anytime I try to bring up Michael's mental health, my husband brushes me off. It's like he's chosen to simply not acknowledge that part of our son. But I can't, and I do everything I can to help my baby. It's my husband's fault he has no relationship with his son. He will even scold Michael sometimes for staying in bed, and I always tell him to leave him alone and that he's not helping. He doesn't have a strong relationship with Zach either, since he gets upset when my husband is impatient towards Michael. My husband's carelessness towards Michael infuriates me, but at least Zach does everything he can to care for his brother. He has always been very protective of him, and when Michael is having a bad week, Zach will sleep on his floor every night and just spend time with him. He puts on movies and YouTube videos for them to watch together, and he tries his best to convince Michael to get out of the house. But I know it's hard for Zach to see his brother dealing with such intense psychological issues, and over the years we've had lots of talks about how we can best support Michael when he's not well. It's been years, but Michael still deals with the same issues. He'll have a good couple of weeks, then one day, he won't come down for breakfast and I know he's back in a hole. It breaks my heart to watch this as his mother. I would do anything to take this pain away from my baby. We have tried multiple antidepressants, different therapists, and specialists, but nothing seems to help. When he is active, he's a perfect, brilliant kid. I know he struggles with a lot of social anxiety at school, but he doesn't let it affect his grades, and he's an A student. He's a bright boy, he loves reading nonfiction, and he has a lot of collected knowledge on a range of topics. He loves history, and I know he will have a bright future. One day we were in the kitchen, and I was listening to him enthusiastically talk about what he learned in history class that day. Out of nowhere, he said, "If I grow up, I think I want to become a history professor." The words hit me like a brick, and I immediately stopped what I was doing, turned to him, and asked why he used the word if I told him he was going to grow up into a strong, healthy man, and he had his whole life ahead of him. He just shrugged, and I wrapped him in the tightest hug I could give him without hurting him. As you can see, my son is fragile, he needs patience, and he is very emotionally vulnerable. That's why I could unalive my husband when I think about what he did to him, and everything that happened because of his cruelty.